it's Miss Piggy. I hope you're all having a wonderful day. I'd like to welcome everyone back to our art series called At Home, where we create art at home for our home. So before we get started, friends, I'd like to go over some values. Just remember, respect yourself, respect your own art, and respect your space. I'm super excited today to tell you what we're going to be working on and creating. So, friends, I hope you've been able to do a lot of reading at home because we are going to be creating a bookmark. The things we'll need for today: blank paper. I have cardstock, but feel free to use any type of blank paper that you may have at home. Some scissors, markers or crayons, whatever you have on hand, and maybe a current book that you might be reading. This is Leonardo the Terrible Monster. I read it all the time. We're going to start by creating a strip with your paper. So you can either freehand cut or you can actually use a ruler if you have one at home. I don't have one on hand, so what I'm going to do is use my book as a ruler so that I can draw a line. So go ahead and place your hand on your book or ruler or freehand it, and you're going to use your pen or marker to create a line. It's up to you how thick you want your bookmark. Mine's about 1 inch wide. And we're going to take our scissors and cut along the line. I'm actually going to cut right inside so I don't see my outline. And it doesn't have to be perfect, friends. All right. So once we cut our strip, we're ready to add our art, which brings me to the technique of the day, which is more of a theme, a book theme. So friends, as we create this art on our bookmark, I want you to think about a current book that you're reading. Think about literacy. What are some maybe phrases or parts of the story that you may want to highlight if you'd like to add words on your bookmark? Maybe think of characters from the stories. Who comes to your mind or what comes to your mind? You could also think of specific parts of the story that you may want to create, or some visual images that come to your mind. Maybe you're reading a chapter book with no pictures, so you could kind of create the own pictures in your mind onto your bookmark. And if you are reading a picture book, feel free to refer to some of the illustrations and some of the illustrators' ways of creating art. So it's kind of being inspired by the current book that you're reading. For example, in this story, one of my favorite parts is where Leonardo tries to be very scary. So I really appreciate the way the illustrator, which is the artist of the book, kind of creates different funny faces and scary faces for Leonardo. So for myself, I'm going to take the inspiration of Mo Willems, who is actually the illustrator and author of this book, and I'm going to create inspired artwork on my bookmark. So take some time to kind of think about some of your ideas that you may have. I think what I'm going to decide to do is create different scary and silly faces. Just take it where you feel you want to take it as an artist, friends. I'm going to begin by actually going straight to that page and looking at it again. I don't know if you've read this story before, friends, but it's super fun. I used to read this a lot to my own kids who are big now. So I have my book open to my page of inspiration. I'm going to go ahead and get started. I have observed different silly, scary faces of Leonardo, and I really like to kind of observe like the different eyes and eye positions, his teeth, his silly faces, his tongue, and maybe like his horns on his head and just some funny things. So what I'm gonna do is kind of create a collage of random like scary faces of Leonardo along my bookmark. Go ahead and get started with your own book theme art. So right here I'm just drawing some horns and these cheeks, puffy cheeks. I like this scary silly face and how the eyes are different sizes. I like how it's just not symmetrical. So it's asymmetric, meaning not the same. I also noticed that Mobilems, the illustrator, uses a lot of line work. So feel free to kind of play with the different ideas that your illustrator from your story might have done. Notice some certain details and feel free to try them out as well or create your own style, which I'm going to do kind of a blend of both Mobilems and how I usually like to bold and line things. So it's like a combo in a way. What's your take on drawing characters? You can reflect your own style and ideas of what things or characters might look like. For me, I'm gonna think about my own scary faces that I tend to make, or silly faces, and I'm probably gonna create some of those emotions and expressions on my bookmark too. I'll try to think of some certain scary faces or silly faces. I definitely like how the eyes are different, and I tend to do that too in my own art. Even here, I like to create different pupils. Maybe one's colored in, maybe one has like a star type of look. I forgot what it's called. Starburst type of thing, a twinkle in the eye. I think that's hilarious. I'm gonna draw a little bit of his mouth here, but I'm not gonna show the whole thing. So this is kind of outside of my canvas. And I'm probably gonna draw him upside down as well. Just to give it different types of look, or positions at least. Here I'm playing with different eyes. I notice he's kind of squinting here, but my take is just making the X as an eye, kind of symbolizing that it's squinting. I'm gonna draw his nose here for fun. I also notice how Mobilems kind of added lines. To me, it feels like he's moving, so it's adding movement to the art. So I'm gonna kind of play off that idea as well and add some lines to symbolize movement. Like he's probably tilting his head like this. I also like these teeth right here in this part where they look like mountains. It kind of reminds me of the chevron pattern we made last week, where it's just like up, down, up, down. So I'm probably gonna make that face. I like how he has a bag over his head, so that's kind of cool. It's showing that he has like a costume on. That's pretty fun. So I'm gonna draw this bag. Illusion. Once again, I do notice lines here that symbolize movement. Maybe he's blinking and opening and doing different things. So just a big mouth. Who knows? Triangles for shark teeth. This is fun. And now I'm going to start with his, or I'm going to add his eyes. Let's start. What kind of eyes do you think I should do? What kind of eyes would you make? I'm going to make eyes that go to the corners of his bag. And I'm going to put somewhat big pupils. This one I'm going to add eyelashes on, because I think that's fun. And I think I have space for one more scary face. And for this last one, I might just really try and focus on the mouth. So I really want to implement some fun teeth and a tongue that sticks out, because I think it's fun. So right here, I'm just gonna make my own silly face. I'm gonna start with a squiggly line, and I'm gonna add tongue. And then I'm going to add some of Leonardo's teeth. Looks like he has pretty healthy teeth. Take care of your teeth, friends. Make sure you're brushing. So I added some teeth. I actually want to add a face, so I'm just going to actually end up adding part of his head right here. And I'm gonna make some eyes here at the top, like he's closing his eyes. I added some eyelashes too. And I'll add some horns. Hey, it kind of looks like a pig ear. So friends, I'm at the point where I will most likely start refining my lines. As you know, I like to make things bold. So kind of assess your art where you are at the moment and see where you might want to add different details. Maybe you'd like to add some patterns here. Maybe this is the part where you'd like to add some words. It's up to you. I'm going to start by bolding my lines. I'm gonna add more lines around the different faces so I can indicate more movement, because I really want these faces to look like they're moving. Alright, now that I've refined my lines, I'm going to start adding color here. So once again, friends, as the artist, you have the power to create your art any way you'd like. For me, I think the color that I really want to add to this art is pink. Like his nose is pink. And I really like that his tongue is bluish. So I might play with those two colors. So here I found pink. And maybe the closest I could get to the blue is this marker right here. Or whatever you have. So I'm going to go ahead and fill in the shapes that I want to create with these colors. So I'm just going to lightly color in his nose. Using my pink marker. To draw a nose on the bag. So I'm just going to add one right here. Now I'm going to take my bluish turquoise marker and add some blue highlights. I only drew this tongue right here, so I might just end up in here. But maybe I'd like to use this marker as well to... Actually, I want to make his horns blue. So I'm just going to color in some of his horns blue. And what I'm also going to do is add some outlines and accents. So for example, I actually smeared a little bit. So I'm actually going to turn that into patterns or outlines. So if you see something that you might want to transform into art, always do so, friends. You know how it is. Beautiful oops. What I actually want to do is make it look like things are swiggling and waving around. So I might just add like lines that, like a snake almost, like a snake pattern that goes throughout this bookmark. Woo! Yes, so I have that. Now I'm going to thicken it. Kind of reminds me of a windy road or a river, a winding river. There we go. All right. So now that I've done that, I'm going to take a look at this and see what else I might want to add. Which I think I might add one more color. What do you think I should do, friends? Let's take a look. I have this purple. It kind of reminds me of the purple text that Mo Willems used here. It says Leonardo tried very hard to be scary. So he highlighted the word tried with purple. So what I'm gonna probably do is just add some accents of purple. I'm not sure where yet, but I'm gonna take a look at where I might want to add some purple to it. I think I know where. I think I'd like to add purple accents on these lines of movement that I had created earlier. So I'm just gonna follow these lines and trace it over with my purple marker. Truck. Alright. I think they actually want to add purple teeth here. I'm going to color these little tiny squares purple, just for fun. Maybe I'll make other things purple on each face, like this eye. Maybe I may add freckles here. And then maybe add purple starburst right there. Alright, friends. I feel like I'm done. I really like where it's ended up. So here is my bookmark for my reading, friends. I hope you all had fun today creating your own book-themed bookmark. Continue reading always, friends. You gotta exercise those reading muscles, get stronger, and expand your knowledge and your mind and your creativity, friends. Thank you and take care. Bye!